Hi Pisces, this is going to be your art channeled message. I channel messages through art, creativity. I really hope my messages inspire you to see the art within yourself, within your journey, and within everything around you, because we all start from zero, which is just the fool's journey or a blank canvas. It's important to see yourself, be yourself. Just always find the art and creativity in the things around you, because we often forget about that very easily. So if you'd like a personal reading, all of that is down below. I would love to work with you guys. And lastly, there's no rules here. You can binge watch them. They're timeless. The list goes on. What's special about my messages, and it's like one big canvas, or just like a big form of art. Sometimes I'll speak in metaphors, sometimes I'll speak with less structure, and it's like this mystery or this air of mystery around it. So it's like, what am I trying to say? What do you think I'm trying to say without actually saying it? That's important as well. Because that's why I describe it, at least for these. It's like, what do you see? How does the art come together? Because that's how weird my art is sometimes. I'll start out with one thing and it's all over, but it's never planned. And I'm like, what is this? So, what I started drawing for you, Pisces, is a flag that's actually in movement from the wind currents. That's what it looks like. I keep getting the scenario of golf flags, but also truce flags. People typically wave a flag to call a truce or even forfeit a game. I don't know, like, the only thing I know that require flags for a game is like racing. You know how they wave it to start and then go like that during the exit. So I'm getting, Pisces, that somebody, as well as this on a collective level, is ready to call a truce with you. AKA, I'm done fighting, if it's a loved one, or maybe even I'm done being your enemy. That phrase literally made me hear enemies to lovers trope, romantically or not. A lot of times the connection is not implemented until later. And then sometimes you can also struggle with one you can also struggle with one you are already cordial with. Lastly, for your art theme, I kept feeling drawn to point out what's typically said about enemies versus lovers, or enemies versus friends. Often enemies are those closest to you already, whilst the people you need to warm up to, or even despise at first, end up being the most trusting later on. There's a need for you to keep that in mind. I'm even getting something about different perspectives. You know how you can like look at something based off of something that might be superficial, might have just been a one-time thing, but then you realize like, wait, this is actually different than what I thought. The first thing that comes to mind is Princess Diaries 2. They thought that guy was out for the crown. They thought that guy was just trying to use Mia, but he was not really the enemy in the end. It was just his family member that was trying to orchestrate the whole thing, and then he stood up to him in the end. And there's like this weird tension where she's like, you know what? I hate you. And he's like, I hate you too. So it reminds me of that. And there's also this aspect of character development or relationship development. Like, who would have known? It's like a pivotal point. Towards the end, things get better, or things change. It's like, wait, I was wrong. So, let's see. Truce, or a truce flag. I think that was even an episode of SpongeBob where him and Squidward were like competing, staying up all night for something, and they're like, you know what? I need to go to bed. I'm tired. We should just call a truce. Now, neither of us win, neither of us lose. What's the point? Let's see. Someone wants to call a truce. With the Fool being on the bottom of the deck, I see that as someone's going to have to do it first. Someone's going to have to just wave that flag and do it. That's what the Fool's about. Four of Cups. I'm getting this aspect of this being you And then this person trying to like say, here's this. And you're like, I want nothing. I want nothing to do with that. I still don't know. To me, it feels like it's a maybe. Like, you know what? I feel you. I'm still thinking about it, like that different perspective thing, but I'm still trying to feel you out. Reminds me a bit of my cat. We sort of rescued a cat. We found him like hiding under our cars. That's a story for later, but it's like they're still warming up to you, but it doesn't mean they hate you. That's how you're gonna feel about this situation. It's like I still have to get a feel for it. Like I literally just said cat. Still have to get a feel. Animals are different than us. And remember, I said it could be in the form of that wasn't implemented yet. It's more of like, I don't know you, but those end up being the best ones. Or it could be like you're just fighting with someone that you already know. There's already like it's a loved one. I'm getting the energy or art theme here too about just getting up and leaving one day. It's like an emotionally fueled, like, I gotta get out of here. I'm not dealing with you. I have to remove myself, which is actually really good because the bigger picture here already is like, it's like removing yourself before maybe you say something hurtful, knowing when to walk away. Because the worst thing ever is saying something in the heat of the moment and then being like, you know what, I was better off just shutting up. I didn't actually mean that. Especially when it's already an already existing type of thing. Yeah, I'm getting the energy of just like worrying about something later. So, oh my god, I have to fix this. And it's really interesting how we already have cups. We have 4 of cups and then it goes straight to 8 of cups, which is like 4 times 2 equals 8. Something left off on the extreme. Death. A transformative, pivotal, transition type of connection. It's like that one person that, like, I don't like you. I don't know how to feel about you at first. You're weird, or you're out to get something. Kind of like the Princess Diaries too, that's the main thing I'm focusing on. Whether lovers, friendship, whatever. I think that even happened in the Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen. There's always a moment in the end of a Disney movie where it's like, they're on the opposite side of the spectrum, the mean person gets embarrassed, and then they're like, hey, let me help you. Let me give you a hand. So it's like that. A relationship is changing for the better, even if it's not necessarily a relationship yet. There's this inner knowing. It's like, oh, we were actually on the same page. Three of Cups. It's like coming together. No longer speaking 2 different languages. I'm hearing unison as well. Usually 2 people have to call a truce at the same time. I've even seen before too, I'm getting this scenario of like, okay, if we both quit at the same time, there's neither a loser or a winner. So on 1, 2, 3, truce. Or 1, 2, 3, we take our hands off of the van. Or we do something. I'm getting on 1, 2, 3, like doing something at the same time. Maybe even seeing a group activity. Something will occur where everyone's in the same building or same spot for the same reason, doing the same thing. It's like in unison. Or there's a reason the 3 of Cups is all about gatherings, coming together, drinking. Looks like they're all in unison. Something just clicks at the same time. This also feels to me like a click. It's like this person looks like they're shutting this out, but it also feels like in a way they feel left out, or it's kind of like I wouldn't fit in anyway type of attitude. So decline. I feel like you're gonna be pleasantly surprised. Yeah, it's like one person's going to grow some balls, grow some pentacles, be like, hey. I remember in previous readings, I was seeing the Page of Pentacles as like, I think it was called like their door is always open for you. And I was getting this as a meeting spot, like a public garden, a public museum. So that kind of already reflects off of this. I'm getting a fall vibe for sure. Come on, the pumpkins. Oh my god. 5 of Wands, and then the Sun. Heck yeah. 5 of Wands. Enemies to lovers. Or conflict will no longer be conflict anymore. I'm also getting conflicting views. But to me, this is like going past the BS and seeing people for who they really are. But hey, this has potential. To me, this feels like 2 people including another. Extension. Here you go. Or if this is not someone you're just not, no, you just don't know how to feel about them. It's not that situation. It's you got into a fight with someone, or you know you're on the ins and outs with a certain person. That is coming to an end for sure. Something will have its own little happy ending, I want to say. Because someone decided, I'm going to do this first. Maybe getting this is like a coming with an offering, or coming with something like, it's like I'm sorry flowers, or maybe baking. Words of love or inclusion come in many different forms. So something tells me this was abrupt, like I'm leaving. It was like, before we say anything to each other, I'm out. Okay, I'm gonna get a Bob Ross card to end this reading. The closest card I can think of, well, first of all, this is like competitiveness. I did compare it to the episode of SpongeBob where it's like they're competing, or they're in like a game, and it's like we're all gonna call a truce at the same time. It almost looks like they're all at different paces, but if they all just dropped their wands, that's a truce. Oh my, drop their wands? All these people like sort of drop dead. Or it's like they're eliminated, they drop out of the game, or they drop out of the race, but not this person. I just heard I'm still alive, but I'm barely breathing, that song. When a heart breaks, it doesn't break even. It's usually about people, that song's about being at odds with somebody that you love. Ooh. Okay. Let's see. This also looks like a flag to me. It's like raise your glass or raise your flag. Give me a sign that we can both just drop it, you know? Get a Bob Ross card and this art theme. Ooh. Okay. Now then, let's wash the old brush. That's the fun part of this whole technique. Okay, shake off the excess and just beat the devil out of it. I'm seeing this as just letting go of a grudge. Let go of the old stuff, because like the more you harp on it, it really depends on the context, like what exactly happened, what exactly went on, or what exactly do you consider conflicting views. But if it's something very minor, I know I have to remind myself to do this as well. It's like, try not to be so stubborn. Try not to look at one thing and just go with that. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you can really hinder like certain potential in yourself, and you can fail to see the potential in others. Now then, let's wash the old brush. Let's wash this away. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. Let's move forward. Let's beat the devil out of it. Let's beat this game by just not playing. Forfeit. End. Okay, Pisces. I really like this reading. It was to the point, and it's not usually that way. Please like, subscribe, support the channel in any way you can. I'd really, really, really appreciate it. And remember, it's not just what I say. Doesn't matter if it's coming out metaphorically structured. However, it's like your opinion matters as well. It's like, what am I trying to say without actually saying it? How can you apply this to your life? All of my messages resonate somehow. I don't care what time. I don't care what sign you are. I don't care how you see it, if it's suggested, there's always something here. And the cards even reflect what I drew. So that's cool. Okay, Pisces, that's the end of this art theme. Goodbye.